Hi, I'm John Singer here from Two River Tech. We're a network security company located here in Shrewsbury, New Jersey. In the next 5 minutes, I'm going to give you a set of behaviors that you can start using right now in your company to dramatically reduce the possibility of a virus or other computer-borne threat being able to successfully attack your network. And here's the great news. It's not going to cost you a dime. So let's get started. The first thing that you need to know about viruses is the way that they arrive and the way that they spread. And there's typically two ways that this happens: by email attachment, and by web browsing. So let's cover each of these in some detail. First, let's talk about email. The only way for a virus to spread by email is through an attachment. The attachment will be some sort of executable file which, when run, does something bad, including spreading itself. It used to be that the only way that this would happen would be by having files which end in .exe or .bat or .com. But now it's become much easier than that because there are many more files that will allow some sort of automated programming, and that's where the bad guys can attach their malware. So for example, Word documents can run scripts, and so can Excel. So the virus spreads or attacks when someone unwittingly double-clicks on the attachment. So now let's take a look at web browsing. Viruses can attack through something called the cache. Now exactly how they do that is a little bit beyond the scope of this video, but suffice it to say that it's indeed possible to get infected with the virus simply by browsing to a website, especially if you're not adequately protected. So the good news is that there are some very simple practices that you can take on that really reduce your likelihood of getting infected. So let's go through these behaviors that you can teach all your employees and that you can use yourself. First, let's talk about email. Rule number 1. Don't click on or run any attachment that ends in .exe or .com or .bat unless you know who it's coming from and you are expecting the attachment. This is very important because it's very easy for a virus to send to all email addresses in an address book and make it look like it's coming from a friend. Rule number 2. Watch for those cute or intriguing subject lines like "you gotta see this" or "holiday greetings" and other things like that. Especially if it's not typical for the person to be using that type of language, that's a tip-off for you. Rule number 3. Configure your email program so that it doesn't automatically open Microsoft Word or Microsoft Excel documents. These can also contain a virus inside a script which Word or Excel can run. Now, let's talk about protecting yourself when you're surfing. Rule number 1 there is keep that browser up to date. Get the latest version. The browser developers are constantly trying to improve the security and reduce the vulnerability of their browsers, so it only makes sense that you keep those up to date. Rule number 2, look at that URL. When you're on a website or linking to a website, pay close attention to the URL or the web address and make sure it's what you expect. Look for anything that might be a little bit weird, like "that's kind of weird" and "that could be kind of weird." Sometimes these are okay, but you want to be on the lookout for them. Rule number 3 is before you click on a link and go to the website, right-click on the link and click Properties. This will make sure that it's really going to take you where you think it's going to take you. And that's because it's easy to put one address that you see and another address that you're actually going to go to. Rule number 4. Whenever you are putting in personal or sensitive information, make sure that there is a padlock icon showing. This means that you are transmitting that data securely and there's encryption. So there you have it. There's 7 rules that you and your staff can follow to reduce the threat of a virus attack on your business. This is the list right here. Now, while these behaviors will definitely help you, they're not bulletproof. This video is about steps that you can take that cost no money. However, to be really protected, I highly recommend that you install a professional firewall with built-in virus protection. It's by far the easiest way to protect yourself, and the cost is really affordable. But don't do this on your own. You really need to have an IT professional for that. But how do you find a good, reliable, fairly priced, and dependable IT professional? Well, I'm glad you asked. If you click on the link right below and fill out the form on the next page, I'll send you a copy of my book, Hassle-Free Computer Support, as long as I have supplies to send you. The book's going to give you questions that you need to ask to differentiate the quality IT pros from the people who will waste your time and money. So go ahead and click that link below and I'll send the book right on its way to you.